gap in here is what I said we would draw up into. We obviously did that. And we're looking at the weekly chart, and the candlestick is represented as such here. So we hit the high of that gap, and then we've been banging around inside that, which is typical. When price runs to a higher time frame target, lower time frame candlesticks and charts will move into a consolidation profile. Consolidation profile after multiple markets have met their objectives. As I mentioned, with the dollar index, it's traded up into our premium objectives. Euro's traded down into our discount objectives, and ES has traded into its premium objectives. So when that occurs, the market will tend to do what? Consolidate, which is why I'm saying I'm neutral. So you can see how there's a relationship between how I teach market profiles, not market profile in the sense that you think it is, but profiles in the sense of like schematics, a roadmap, if you will. Okay. Typical behavior or performance by price, something that looks familiar. That's generally what I'm trying to get at. And I taught and gave out specific schematics for weekly profiles and daily profiles. So you can see what type of performance price will behave like, because the algorithm will tend to follow those types of profiles. And right now, because the market has met our objectives that we've been looking for a couple of weeks now, it just sits still for a little while and just consolidates. It doesn't mean it's going to reverse. It doesn't mean it's going to explode and continue. It just means that we wait. We wait for more information. Now, what I do notice in here, and I failed to mention last time we were doing the live stream, there's a volume imbalance in here, right there between this candle's close, this candle's opening, and we're inside this gap here. It would be fine for it to drop down into that area there, so around 42.40-ish, and that still would not break the structure that would, if it was going to go higher and move like it did in NASDAQ, this high here where there's buy side, that would be the next draw on upside. But short term, it may consolidate or retrace down into this area right in here. That's a volume imbalance. And I don't want to have too many lines on the chart, but you want to have that on yours. In the event that we do retrace lower, it might want to draw into that area. As long as we stay above this candle's low. Why am I picking that candle? We've already worked inside these two down close candles. That's your bullish order block consecutive down close candle. It traded down into that and repelled price higher. If it was the color outside the lines of this volume imbalance, which is that white shaded area, it can trade down into consequent encroachment of this candle's tail. So about right there, which is essentially the low of that volume imbalance. It can go a little bit past the little, somewhat, but I don't want to go below there. If it trades below it, doesn't require a close. If it trades down below that, then I would be more reluctant to anticipate that high being the next run on liquidity. Okay, so in layman's terms, I'm expecting it to consolidate inside this white shaded area, allowing up to a retracement into this area here. Worst case scenario, half of this candle's tail, but not below that candle's low. Okay, so as long as we're remaining above that candle's low right there, I'm staying with the idea that we could potentially go higher like we've seen in NASDAQ.